Hey friends, grab a snack, get comfy, and maybe dim the lights, because today we're talking about 20 PS5 games you absolutely cannot ignore in 2025. I'm talking goosebumps, controller clutching, just one more quest at 3 a.m. energy. These are the games that make the PS5 feel alive. I've played a ton of them, obsessed over the rest, and I've got stories, tiny gripes, and a lot of love to share. Let's dive in. Open worlds are less maps and more ecosystems, and VI, set in with a return to that neon-soaked Vice City vibe, looks like the next evolutionary leap. From the trailer alone, the density of life is ridiculous. Sun-blasted highways, swampy back roads, people doing 100 little things you can ignore or cause absolute chaos with. The dual protagonist setup featuring already feels electric. Expect storytelling that sneaks up on you between stupidly fun sandboxes, that sticky feeling of I'm just going to see what's over there, and the kind of emergent nonsense you'll retell for years. Minor worry, please let performance be smooth at launch. But come on, this is a cultural event, not just a game. Is about to get weird again, and I am ready to unpack package-shaped emotions. The original's traversal was secretly one of the most quietly satisfying mechanics in the genre, and DS2 looks like a bigger, stranger odyssey. You're still braving beautiful, hostile landscapes, but with more tools, vehicles, and social systems. Combat seems sharper and more intentional, and the atmosphere, haunting in that I'm alone, but I'm not alone, way only this series pulls off. If the first game was a meditative hike with monsters, this feels like a dangerous road trip with new friends you only sorta trust. Minor gripe last time, it could be glacially slow. If balances the quiet with stronger momentum, this could be transcendent. The hunts are getting wilder, like literally. Wilds is bringing dynamic weather that reshapes the battlefield and monster behavior mid-hunt. Picture a sunny chase into a sandstorm that suddenly flips the food chain on its head. Mounted traversal isn't just to get around, it's part of the hunt. You're mobile, adaptable, and scary in your own right. It's still that core loop of study, hunt, craft, repeat, but with a world that actually pushes back. Pros: set-piece hunts in living ecosystems. A possible con: Monster Hunter's learning curve can still look like a cliff if you're new. But once you crest it, pure obsession. Every time the fog rolls in, I get goosebumps. Team's Remake pulls James back into town with modern tech, an over-the-shoulder camera, and an atmosphere that feels suffocating in the best way. The town is still the main character, streets that whisper, interiors that feel sickly and familiar, and creature design that's nope. Just know. You'll get stronger combat than the PS2 original, but that melancholy dread is intact. My take: some animations feel a touch stiff. But when the radio crackles and the fog swallows the world, you won't care. This is psychological horror that worms into your brain. It's like taking your childhood memories apart, polishing them, and building it out of the pieces. Rebirth expands world into sprawling regions, stacks in deliciously crunchy combat where synergy skills pop off like fireworks, and then dazzles with ridiculous, charming side content. The gold saucer is a highlight reel of how is this game real. The emotional beats land harder because the cast feels alive. Yeah, some mini-games might overstay their welcome, and the packing occasionally meanders, but then you hit a set piece and it's jaw on floor all over again. This is the closest a video game gets to a tabletop campaign where the DM loves you but also wants you to sweat. You'll roleplay hard, romance poorly at first, and accidentally set someone on fire with a candle and a brick because physics is a suggestion here. The choice density is insane. Quests fold into each other, companions feel human and will absolutely judge you, and your class build actually changes the flavor of the story. It's massive and generous. Minor headache: managing inventory on a controller can get fiddly, but once you settle into a rhythm, it sings. A supernatural detective story that glows like a neon nightmare. Remedy's weirdness is peak here. Live-action interludes, puzzle box storytelling, an FBI agent who brings grounded empathy, and Alan clawing through dream logic with a lamp. Exploration feels dangerous and poetic at the same time. Combat is purposeful, not power fantasy. Every bullet matters. There's one musical sequence that had me grinning like an idiot. If you love Control or Twin Peaks vibes, you're in. Minor gripe, it's dense and occasionally punishing, not a zone-out game. But oof, the craft is a pressure cooker, and Elba's Solomon Reed is the cool hand on your shoulder as things spiral. With the 2 overhaul, this plays like the game Cyberpunk always wanted to be: sleek car combat, smarter, a police system that doesn't feel. The spy thriller story is taut, less neon sugar rush, more cigarette smoke and bad decisions. Pros, weighty choices, razor-sharp presentation. Tiny drawback, it's bleak. The emotional payload hits heavy, so bring water and maybe a soft pillow. From Software took open world and asked, what if every corner mattered? The base game is a pilgrimage of discovery. The DLC is a boot camp for the soul. Land of Shadow is gorgeous and cruel, with bosses that demand respect and a build crafting playground that lets you get wonderfully weird. I spent hours just tinkering with talismans and Ash of War combos to get one rhythm perfect, and when it clicked, chef's kiss. The only con is the difficulty spike. It assumes you're here to suffer in a good way. When you beat it, you don't cheer, you exhale. A mythic wuxia fever dream with fur so detailed you can practically feel it under your thumb. Combat blends discipline with trickster flair. Staff techniques, transformative abilities, and that delicious give and take of aggression and patience. The world bursts with Chinese myth, gods, demons, and landscapes that look painted at dawn. It's tough but fair. Minor trouble, the camera occasionally loses the plot in tight spaces, and you'll want to experiment with performance modes to find your sweet spot. When it flows, it flows. Your idea of fun is perfectly timed parries with the sound design of a hammer hit Welcome Home. Stellar Blade is kinetic and stylish. Every fight is a duel where patience and posture matter. It's got that ish learn the dance loop with its own swagger. The world is a ruined beauty, sand, steel, and a touch of sorrow. Bosses are bangers. The dual-sense haptics make attacks feel surgical. Critiques, storytelling lines, and the character design discourse is real. Some choices won't be for everyone. But as an action game, addictive. Takes combat DNA, mix in an open world, glide across Edo period skis, and challenge everyone you meet to a duel. It's messy in the best ways. Lots to do, swordplay that rewards mastery, and a world that's a little scruffy but charming. Musket pops, katana clashes, and political choices sprinkled in. If you love Ghost of Tsushima but wanted deeper combat and didn't mind here and there, this fits. Minor gripe, side content can feel checklist-y and visuals don't always hit that pristine PS5 sheen. But when a duel clicks, goosebumps. Didn't just modernize RE4, they made it feel new without losing the campy, over-the-top spirit. The gunplay is crisp, parries feel heroic, and the village fight still slaps harder than your first espresso. As a companion is way less of a headache, and the Separate Ways DLC adds a juicy perspective that stitches the narrative. On PS5, the triggers and 3D audio do work. Minor issue, a couple chapters can feel like a gauntlet of okay enough already, but it's RE4, you sign up for the. In Hawaii is the most joyful chaos I've had in an RPG in years. It's turn-based combat, but everything is physical, knocking enemies into each other, environmental smackdowns, and tag team skills that are equal parts effective and ridiculous. The job system is a sandbox of identity crises. You can spend 20 hours running a tropical island resort and forget you're in a crime saga, then get yanked into an emotional gut punch that lands so much harder because of the whiplash. Minor gripe, some dungeons run long, but the heart and humor steamroll that. The classic modernized, slick UI, reimagined music, glow-up visuals, and combat that's snappier without losing its soul. You climb Tartarus at night, living a double life between school vibes and apocalyptic dread. The social links hit differently now, more warmth, more melancholy. If Persona 5 was stylish swagger, P3 is nighttime loneliness you can't shake, and that's a compliment. Small caveat, it doesn't include the answer epilogue content out of the box, which stings for veterans. But it's brilliant. This one surprised me. It's a modern that feels fast, tight, and generous. The combat is all about confident parries and sharp movement, the platforming is exact without being cruel, and time powers twist both in fun ways. The map design is smart. You'll drop a screenshot pin and come back later like a genius, past self giving future self a high five. It's approachable but deep. My only note, the story is fine rather than fantastic, but the moment-to-moment play, crisp as a winter apple. Cal grew up and brought 5 lightsaber stances to prove it. Combat is fluid, weighty, and expressive. You can go full samurai dual-wield chaos or maul the room. Planets feel handcrafted with actual secrets worth finding. The cinematic storytelling is classic Star Wars, hope battling doubt, found family, big swings. Launch performance was rough, but updates improved things. On PS5 now it's a strong showcase. Minor gripe, some platforming puzzles drag. But when you force pull a trooper into a blade spin, all is forgiven. Your coat of paint. The PS5 update tightens visuals, adds haptics that make raindrops and bow tension feel tactile, and no return. The mode turns tense stealth combat into an endlessly replayable challenge. The main campaign remains one of gaming's most divisive and devastating stories. It will make you sit in feelings you didn't ask for and be better for it. My stance: you don't have to agree with its choices to respect its craft. Minor critique: no return is so good you might wish for even more maps and modifiers. Alloyed steel dinosaurs in sunset lighting should be illegal. Forbidden West's open world is lush and dense, with combat that encourages trap setting, weak point targeting, and stylish ballet. The Burning Shores expansion, PS5 only, takes you to a fractured Los Angeles built on lava and dream logic, with set pieces that make your TV work up a sweat. The story continues to thread ancient sci-fi with tribal politics in a way that somehow hangs together. Minor gripe: quest bloat can creep in, but the photo mode and creature design alone are worth the ticket. It's not new, but if you missed it, 2025 is a perfect time. This is Kaiju as a boss fight opera with clashes that are ludicrous in the best way. Combat is flashy and satisfying, with a focus on aggressive timing rather than party micromanagement. The lean's mature politics, grief, power, minor issue. Side quests start slow, but later ones sneak in great character beats. If Devil May Cry and Game of Thrones had a baby, this would be the dramatic teen writing poetry in the corner. Before I let you go, tell me your pick. Which one are you diving into first, or which did I criminally underrate? Drop your top 3 in the comments and roast my takes gently. If this helped you build a 2025 backlog you'll never finish, same, hit like so other PS5 folks find it, and subscribe for more deep dives, reviews, and please stop adding games coping sessions. Alright, charge your controller, stretch your thumbs, and I'll see you in the next one.